Ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies, ladies and gents, got a little bit of a success story. I say little bit because it matters a lot when people stop listening to the junk they get on the internet. Well, you get junk on the internet. I show you where I'm getting my information from. I back up what I say, and I've advised all of you, if you're going to listen to a website, make sure they can back up what they're saying. Make sure they can prove what they're saying. You guys are getting information from a lot of people who are just spewing what they've heard somebody else talk about. If they're not showing you facts, if they're not showing you facts, only telling you something as a fact, you need to be leery. You need to stop listening to them until they get to the point to where they're going to show you what they're talking about. Well, I like listening to them because their videos are a little bit entertaining. You know, their intros and their extras, and their videos are just done well, and they sound like they know what they're talking about. That's what most people are doing. Listen to people because they sound like they know what they're talking about, and the information that they're giving is truthful. 2 days ago, I told you guys about a woman who, in a particular state, not going to say the state name because we don't want this. We don't want there being any issues. But she went to buy a home. They did the whole process. She went to the signing table. At the closing, she had already gotten approval for the loan. She signs pay attention, she signs the mortgage. She goes through the documents. She signs the mortgage, and she finds the deed, the warranty deed, and she gets that and she puts whatever she has to put on that document. And so she starts asking about the other document. She says, oh, no, I'm not signing that. Oh, no, I'm not signing that. And so they said, well, then we can't give you the loan. Oh, she says, oh, no. And she got up and she walked out with her mortgage and the warranty deed. And they chased her around the parking lot. Can you imagine that? Can you guys just in your mind imagine these people at this realtor's office chasing somebody around a parking lot? So she gets in her car and she leaves. She goes down to the county recorder's office to record her warranty deed. Ladies and gentlemen, when she goes down to record a warranty deed, the bank's people are already there. Wait a minute, how did they get there so quickly? Because they're already there to record their paperwork because they need to start monetizing this as soon as possible because somebody's getting some ducats in his pocket. Well, she gets there, there's an argument, there's you can't file that. Yes, I can. You can't file that county recorder. This is a duly authorized instrument between me and the buyer. I'm filing my warranty deed. They filed her warranty deed. She goes into the house. She gets arrested because they said she was trespassing. Ladies and gentlemen, the bank had no standing to say she was trespassing because the banks didn't own the house. The loan was given to the woman and the money was used to pay for the house, but the banks did not sell her a house. They never owned a home. I've been telling you guys this. Nobody else has been telling you this. They've been trying to say it to you, but I've been explaining to you about the way the paperwork is done. Just by logic. Well, they went to court today. And guess what? They went to court on the issue that the bank was there to say that they needed the court to order her to give the home back. The court looked at the paperwork. Now, I told my people, I said, hey, the only argument here, do not bring up all that mortgage junk. Don't bring up any of that junk because it has nothing to do with that. This is an issue of standing. The bank had no standing, ladies and gentlemen. Well, the judge didn't allow them to say anything. He allowed the bank's attorneys to speak and blah, blah, blah. And then the next thing you know, the judge simply said, I don't see an assignment here. I don't see any of the documents which will allow me to do anything. So he dismissed the case by the bank. He gave the woman the document, giving her an exemption on the property. Why? Because it's not being monetized. It's not being traded on the market. So there is no need for her to be paying property taxes. You only pay property tax on income property. I know we've never really talked about that for all of you who are paying property taxes on your home. You sat up there and told them that you're allowing your property to be traded on the market. And ladies and gentlemen, if you ever want to receive that money and have that money be attributed to the account, then you can't go pulling it from there at this time. You can only do that later. You can only make the bank responsible for the paying of the property taxes. Remember, even if you're doing an adverse possession, and we're going to talk about the adverse possession thing probably a little later today or tomorrow. But even if you're doing an adverse possession, the only way you're required to pay the taxes is if the property is an income tax property. Tell them, and that's all you have to do. But we still advise you to pay the taxes on a property you're doing adverse possession on. Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why the judge ruled in a woman's favor is because the bank had no standing. When he said he didn't have an assignment, that's the power of attorney, ladies and gentlemen. So, look, you want to help me? We need to pull up cases that talks about an individual rescinding an assignment or redoing an assignment or taking back the power of attorney, respecting an assignment, respecting a mortgage, respecting the trustee of a deed of trust. We need to find out how to rescind a deed of trust. You really want to help with something? I don't need guesswork. God, a lot of you responding back to my request for stuff like this, sit up here and send me guesses. I need actual cases that talk about it where the individual has won. You want to do research? People tell me, well, I want to help out. Well, you want to help out? You want to do some research? That's the research I'm going to give you to do. Okay? So there you have a success story. Little animated. I know because all of you are imagining that woman running around the parking lot and having these little munchkins chase after her like she's in one of those 1920s movies with the little bell cops chasing after the person. Have a good day, everybody. Goodbye.